Hi dear students, now I'm going to teach you how to solve this problem related to law of sines and law of cosines, but I'm going to teach you how to identify if you're going to use law of sines or law of cosines, which is going to be the best way to solve it. Okay? Remember that I told you that you have to name the angles and the sides. But first of all, let me explain you about the problem. This is you in the hotel. You are in a beach and you are in the hotel. So you are looking at a helicopter which is in front of you, and you are also looking at a boat which is in the shore. Okay? Now, in the problem they are giving us the measure of this angle from you to the boat, which is 65 degrees. And then here, this other angle, which is 78 degrees. And the measure the distance from you to the boat, which is 190 meters. And that's it. And what we have to find is this side. The distance from you to the helicopter. Okay, this is what we have to find. But this is not a right triangle. So how are you going to solve it? Well, first of all, I'm showing you here the law of sines, which is just one, and one of the formulas for the law of cosines. C to the second equals A to the second plus B to the second minus 2AB times cosine of Z, capital letter Z. So, first of all, you have to name the angles, as I taught you in the previous video, and you have to name also the sides. Remember? Okay, so pay attention. I'm going to name this angle, angle A, okay? Then this other angle B, which is here, and angle C, here. All of them in capital letters. Remember, always in capital letters when you talk about angles. And then the sides. So the opposite side to A is this one. So this one is going to be the side lowercase letter A. And then the opposite side to B is going to be this one. So we already have B, as you can see. The lowercase letter B. And then the opposite side to capital letter C is this one. So what we have to find is lowercase letter C, which is the distance from you to the helicopter. Okay, now, once we know which is the name of all the angles and the sides, you focus on this formula. And also later on in this one, okay? In this one, I want you to tell me, well, I want you to think and check if we can use this formula to get this answer. This is for C, as you can see, but we need what, dear students? We need the value for A. Do we have it? No. So we have the B, but we don't have the A, so we are not going to be able to use this one. Let's see if we can use the law of sines. Okay, law of sines says that the measure of the side A divided by the sine of the angle A equals to the side B divided by sine of the angle B equals to the side B divided by the sine of the angle C. And now let's see what do we have here. So let's write. Do we have the measure for A? No, we don't have it, so I'm going to write a line here. Do we have the measure of the angle A? Yes, this is 65 degrees, so I write 65 degrees. Okay? Try to do the same thing, because this way helps you a lot to know if you can use the law of sines or no to solve the problems. Okay? Now, do we have the measure for side B? Yes, this is 190 meters. Okay? Good. And then, do we have the measure for angle B? No. So we're going to write a line. And then, do we have the measure for C? No. And this is the one that we have to look for. Okay? And the measure for the angle C? Yes, we have it. This is 78 degrees. Good. In order to use the law of sines formula, we need to form a pair here. So I look, if I have a pair, I mean that you need to have the value for the angle and also for the side. And as you can see, we don't have this measure of the side A, we don't have this, and we don't have this. We don't have any pair. But check again here the drawing and tell me if we can get the measure for the angle B. If we have this angle and this angle. So I think we can get it. Step number 1, dear students. So here's step 1. I'm going to look for B. Find the measure for the angle B, okay? And how are we going to find it? Now we know that if we add the measure of all the angles inside the triangle, we get 180 degrees. So I'm going to do this, 180 degrees minus 65 degrees minus 78 degrees, and I get B. Okay, let's do it. Well, you use the scientific calculator. I already have it here in my notebook. So this is 37 degrees. Once we know that this is 37 degrees, we complete here the information, and B is 37 degrees. And now, dear students, I already have my pair here. And once I have a pair, I can use it to find this variable. As you can see here, the formula is including the 3 angles and the 3 sides. But look, this is important, so you don't get confused later. I am going to use just these 2. And this is correct. This is what you have to do, okay? So, step number 2, dear students. We are going to find C, the lowercase letter C, which is the measure of the side from you to the helicopter, the distance. Step 2, find C. And I'm going to use the law of sines formula, but just with these 2 terms, okay? So we have B. Do we have B? Yes, this is 190. Okay, so 190 divided by the sine of B. Don't forget to write sine and to calculate it, okay? Sine of what? Of 37. Okay? Remember that in the calculator, you are not going to write the symbol of degrees, okay? Just the numbers, 37. Equals C. I don't have C. This is the one that we're looking for. C over the sine of C. And do we have C? Yes, this is 78. So sine of 78. And then we solve for C. This is an easy thing, okay? So we are going to have, this is dividing, so it's going to multiply now. 190 times sine of 78 divided by sine of 37 equals C. Okay? And then we have C equals, you use your scientific calculator. Don't use the cell phone, okay? Remember, I want you to use the scientific calculator as always. Okay? And what are you going to check, first of all? That you're working, what? In radians or degrees? Remember, if they are giving us degrees, we are going to work in degrees. So check that your calculator is working with degrees. Okay? And once you get the answer, I already have it here. You're going to get 308.81. And what, dear students? Meters. Okay, because here they are giving us meters, so we have to get meters. As you can see, this is not so difficult. You just have to pay attention and think how, first of all, which formula is going to help you to find the answers. And if you can get a pair, it is going to be easier for you, because I think that using the law of sines formula is easier than law of cosines. Let me prepare another video where you learn how to use law of cosines, okay? I miss you, so I hope you find this useful. So I send you hugs. And thanks for your kind attention. See you in a while. Bye.